Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel. And my Kyrie Infinity, or the Kyrie 8, or the Kyrie 8 Infinity by you, or I guess Nike ID. I don't know, I'm always just gonna call it Nike ID, and it's always been Nike ID. And then they changed it to Nike by you, so it's the Kyrie Infinity by you on Nike.com. It's going for 160 bucks, which is kind of expensive. The regular Kyrie Infinity is now available on Nike.com in the US for 130 bucks. There's two colorways available. There's like the black one, this one, and then like it's kind of like the Honor the Gift colorway. It's like a tan, kind of like gum colorway. That one's coming soon. But if you guys do want to cop the regular Kyrie Infinity or the Kyrie Infinity by you, I'll leave a link in the description box. But yeah, here it is. Here is my design, guys. Woo! I mean, usually it's hit or miss for me. Sometimes, like for example, my KD14, I don't know if you guys can see it. This Bumblebee colorway that I did was like, I saw it like on the design on the app and the website. I was like, oh, this is pretty dope, you know, I really like it. And I got it in hand and I don't really like it all too much, you know. This is probably one of my more like least favorite. No, it's not my least favorite. My least favorite is probably like maybe like this, the PG3. I did a really simple red, white, and black colorway. And yeah, it just looks like a regular simple like you know. This one's alright, I guess. But anyways, it's hit or miss for me. You know, I really love my Kyrie 7 ID, you know, especially since I alternated the color of the tongue and the laces, and I believe the fingers as well. I don't really remember, but this is, I love this colorway. And also the Kyrie Low 4. This colorway is also really dope. And yeah, these are, I believe I played in this once, you know, and also this is Dead Sock. I played in this one once, I believe. And then of course we have the MB1 Rick and Morty, and of course, as you guys can see, this colorway was inspired by the Rick and Morty colorway and also the Kobe 6 Grinches. So that's kind of where the color scheme came from, my inspiration. All right, as far as the outsole goes, we have this weird kind of, okay, so on the app, it's just the regular like Volt color, right? And the color that I use is the same, like the outsole, the midsole, and I use the tongue and this upper, the laces. It's all the same color, right? I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but it just, to my eyes, the color here on the outsole is more like a mustard yellow, as well as the midsole. And also the tongue. The tongue, all that is pretty similar in color. And then the color here on the upper is a very like more green, more tennis ball color, you know, which I don't really like. It doesn't match all too well, you know. It's more like a mustard yellow here and then like a Volt green on the upper. So I mean, if you kind of like glance at it and don't really look at it closely, you don't really notice, but if you look at it closely, you definitely do notice it. But of course, that is one thing that definitely does suck about, you know, doing Nike ID designs, is that the color that you see on the actual like software or on the computer screen usually is different, and how it turns out also can be a little bit different. So anyways, yeah, comparing it to the regular Kyrie Infinity, you know, I mean, of course it's the same exact outsole pattern and all that, but the pattern here is obviously there's a different color, and also for the 8 here for the Infinity and the heel. But here in the ID, it's all the same color as well as the signature here. So there's that. It also is the same as far as it's saying Air Zoom here. You know, it says Air Zoom here as well as on the regular Kyrie Infinity. All right, moving on to the midsole. The cushion, of course, is exactly the same. We have a Phylon midsole. We have a heel zoom unit, which I looked at the actual like strobo board, and the heel zoom unit is top loaded, and you can definitely see an outline of the actual zoom in the heel, as opposed to my regular Kyrie Infinity, which didn't have as much of an outline, which is kind of weird. And then for the 4-foot zoom strobo unit, it's the same. I don't know why, but it would have been really cool, just like as a little nice touch, if it was like a red, you know, or a green color. But you know, it's just a regular like clear or white zoom unit in the 4-foot. For the insole, there is an 8, or if you turn it sideways, it's the infinity symbol, and we have a Nike swoosh on top and a Kyrie Irving logo on the bottom. And I definitely do miss it saying Nike ID. Remember when we used to get IDs, it said Nike ID with a black Ortholite insole, right? Now they don't do that, unfortunately. Or if it said like Nike by you or something, I feel like that would have been a nice little touch, right? And another little difference, or I guess it's not really a difference, but it's something that I noticed here in the Kyrie by you, is that we can definitely see like in the middle of the 4-foot, the material here, it's a little bit more opaque. So I'm guessing there is one less material here. And as you guys can see at the edge of the toe box and right here, it's not as opaque. So there's something that you didn't really notice here in this colorway of the Kyrie Infinity. So that's pretty cool. But as far as the overall material goes, it feels pretty much the same, right? Super thin, very, very soft, doesn't feel glued down at all. And then of course for the tongue, there's a little bit of difference, right? So the regular Kyrie Infinity, as far as the colorway goes, what's on the tongue is different, right? But on this one, we have this like, I don't know, it looks like an 8 or like an hourglass. And then on the Nike by You, it's just the Kyrie Irving logo, and it's on both shoes, right? And of course, I made it red just for a little red accent. And then here in the back, it's red as well for his logo. And whatever you make this color, it's the same color here. And then I made this quarter panel as well as the, I believe they call this like the lining. I made all of this like a green color. And also the lining. The lining here is green, and also the lining here on the tongue is green. So you have that nice like contrast. And the Kobe 6 Grinch, if you look at it, there is a gradient, you know, coming from like a very light Volt green to a darker green here in the back of the heel. So that's what I try to do a little bit, especially like comparing it to the MB1. There is more of a gradient here on the upper, but you can't really make a gradient for this Nike by You design for the Kyrie Infinity. So this is what I did to kind of like mimic that overall upper. And also another really nice touch that I love is this swoosh, right? So this swoosh is the Iridescent Swoosh, and it's really dope because it shines in the light, and the colors that it shines is like a purple and a really cool green color. So I really like how that shines in the light, and I definitely think it looks better than the outline swoosh, right? This outline swoosh that's kind of like embroidered, they had that as an option as well. But yeah, I really like how this swoosh turned out. As far as the fit goes, it's pretty much the same. You know, there's really no need to worry about like, oh, should I go the same exact size? Yeah, go exactly the same size as you did here in the Kyrie Infinity. I don't know why it'd be different, but if you were curious or worried about that, just go the same exact size. And also, of course, we have this plastic piece as well, which I made green. You know, it just protrudes out. It's a nice little touch there. And also here in the heel, it's pretty much the same as well. We have this kind of like mesh material that's kind of ribbed, and we have this ribbed pattern. And then here for this leather panel, in this colorway, we have like a very interesting like stitching. It's like a squiggly line, you know? But for the regular Nike by You, we have nothing on both shoes, right? And if you guys see all the other colorways, it has nothing as well. And it's just on this colorway that has the stitching, which is pretty interesting. So yeah, I really like my Grinch inspired Kyrie Infinity. And I really like how it turned out. It looks awesome on foot as well. And I'm super happy with how it turned out. You know, it's up there. It's probably like my top 5. Like this ID, the Kyrie 7, the Kyrie Low 4. Also, my KD13 I really like, you know, with the gum outsole and like this camo upper. The Kobe 11, of course. I remember when this came out, I believe I got it for like 50% off. They were having some crazy sale for the Nike ID. And of course, I did add the full length zoom unit with the drop-in Lunarlon midsole, right? And then of course, I have some gold accents with the red lining and then this really nice fly-knit upper. And then last but not least, the PG1, you know, the black and white. I remember the laces. We used to have this really thick and nice luxurious rope lace with these like silver threads in it, right? And also remember the embroidering, you know, inside of the tongue that they used to do. I really do miss that as well. I mean, I guess there was an option for the Kyrie Infinity to put like a very long sentence here. But you know, I like it to look a little bit more simple and a little bit more clean, so I didn't do that. But anyway, tell me what you guys think of my design down in the comment section below, and what's your favorite out of my designs. But anyways, that about wraps it up. Again, if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.